In today's video, we are jumping back into one of Minecraft's scariest infection mods, with a new update bringing in new threats, even more powerful weapons, and even the start of a full world invasion. So let's just jump straight into it. So it's pretty safe to say that at this point, everybody knows the Dawn of the Flood mod. And a few days ago, the creator of this mod decided to make this so much more horrifying. So just to refresh your mind a little bit, it'll basically start off just like this, with the spaceship coming down. And there you go. So basically this whole thing starts when this giant ship crashes to Earth right here. And you can already see a couple of the creatures down there doing their thing. But eventually these things are going to go after the villagers right here. And eventually they're going to help spread the... Oh my god. Yep. That is one of the new features right there. But like I was saying, these guys are basically just going to go around infecting anything they can find to basically spread the flood and make it completely uncontainable right here. As you can see, they are going to stop at nothing to try and get this other guy. And alongside those little sort of tentacle thingies, the little pod infectors, we also have these guys right here, which are like the pilot forms. And yeah, they're even going to go after the bees right there. So yeah, pretty much nothing is safe with this infection. And just like other infection mods, the flood will continue to get stronger and stronger, bringing in things like Enderman form right here, which is one of my all-time favorites. These things look absolutely crazy. They've actually had a bit of a sound redesign as well as the classic Sangheili forms right here, which come in a bunch of different colors, basically the elites. And this guy's even got a bit of a screen shake when he walks as well. That is so cool. Definitely one of my favorite forms, the elite form right here. Looks so cool. I love the armor design. And you can't forget about the floppy arm right there as well. And if you know the mod, you know it doesn't just stop there, because you also get the tyrant form. Oh my god. Which is a giant flooded dinosaur right there. So now that you're all caught up and realize again how devastating this whole infection mod is, it's time to show you guys what the next level looks like. So if we walk into this perfectly unharmed, completely normal village right here, I can show you guys the new flooded creatures. And I'm pretty sure this is all of them right here in this barrel. But let's start with the one that everybody will recognize, which is the flooded creeper right here, which is actually really cool. I completely forgot about the creeper in the previous version. So, and you can see it's like the gunpowder logo right there, covered in like the goo. And so this right here is the new flooded creeper. This thing looks absolutely menacing. You see one of his attacks straight away right there. Oh my god. And as you can see right here, the model is so sick looking. It is similar to a creeper with like the two legs and the head and everything, but like there is no way that you'd be able to recognize that. Oh, there we go. He's blowing up again. And then as you saw, every time it blows up, he's going to leave the pod infectors, which helps spread the infection that little bit more. They can just do basic attacks with his claw right there, as you saw. But like the model for this is so creepy. It's just completely mangled. Like you can even tell like the creeper parts of like his legs right there, like the pattern. You can already see the tadpoles starting to turn into the infectors in the water as well. Yeah, and they're just going to go do their rampage down there. Okay. The next form we have right here is the Grenadier, which is actually one of my all-time favorites. You see right there, one of his core abilities, he just lays like the landmines. And of course, he's carrying a frag grenade, which he just throws at basically anything that's living. And I will say that this guy is very late game, purely for the destruction that he does. So don't expect to find this guy just roaming around like all the other pod infectors. Oh, the grenade's right there. But this guy is an absolute menace. There you go. He's planting another like trip mine right there. There it is. And I'm pretty sure that even if I place like a few pod infectors over this, they're not actually going to be able to trigger this thing. It's almost like it's got like friendly fire on. So these guys can actually just stand right on top of it without anything happening. But as a player, obviously, whenever you go near it, it's going to go just like that. So just as a heads up, definitely keep your eye on the floor if you're that late into the infection, as yeah, just casually walking into one of those is probably going to be the end of it. Like even this whole like field that had like sheep, cows, horses, like there's just nothing else apart from a singular landmine from that other guy. But the next form is definitely a new one, and that is the bomber right here, which as you can see right here, this thing is completely airborne. It's going to drop off these little pockets of these like little infectors that are going to go for anything in sight. And as far as like models and details go, like this thing is absolutely horrifying. Look at that. And I remember watching the dev video and it said that it could actually pick up creatures as well. So if it's actually chasing somebody, it can actually pick them up and take them into the sky. But most of the time, you're just going to end up with more pod infectors chasing everything and anything. And just like the Grenadier, I'm pretty sure this thing is pretty late game. So you don't have to worry about it until it's completely already too late. So up next we have a flooded form that I've been waiting for ages, and that right there is the brute form. I mean, look at this absolute tank right here. Look at this thing. Like compared to like the elite form, this thing just towers over it completely. And these guys also have some really cool attacks. If I place a villager all the way over here, you might be able to see the main one. Let's have a look here. There he goes. Yep, there's like a whole thing where he'll just pick a target and launch towards it just like that. So he is just going to chase them, start jumping on them, ruining the whole terrain around it. Like this is probably the one that I'd be the most scared of coming across. Like just the one tap, smack the villager in the back of the head. Oh, I mean, to be fair, this villager is putting up a really good fight. Oh, I think that's it. Yep, that's definitely it. And you may be able to tell that the brute form isn't actually holding any form of weapon. Like with the Sangheili forms, you usually get like an SMG or a pistol or something like that. But to start off with, as you can see, their hand is completely empty, which definitely changes the stronger that the Flood gets. So eventually these guys are going to be carrying weapons like the classic SMGs or assault rifles. But when the Flood does reach the right level or intelligence, they're going to be carrying one of these bad boys right here. Like imagine one of these brutes right here just carrying a gravity hammer. I mean, that is just insane. And similar to the Sangheili form, they are also going to have color variation. See if I can get a red one here. There he is. The red ones look so sick. Look at that. Like, I'd probably mark these guys as one of the scariest looking in this whole mod. And for one of the final new creatures, we have the tank right here, which if you thought the brutes were bad, this guy is just an absolute mini boss. Like, they really outdid themselves on this one. Like, look at that model right there. And so if I place a villager right here, you'll be able to see some of the attacks. Obviously, again, it drops a bunch of the little mini ones right there. And when I said this thing is basically a mini boss, yeah, I wasn't lying, because so let's just say I'm in survival and I actually want to attack this thing. There you go, right there. You can see that it's actually blocking hits. Like not only do you have to deal with all the other stuff happening, like this thing can now deflect hits. You can see it in action right there when he's crossing his arms. Like that's when he's blocking. And a lot of the hits aren't even registering because he is using that block effect. Look at that. Oh, these guys are loud. Okay. But just like before with the other creatures, this tank right here is late in the infection, so you don't have to worry about it unless you make it that far. But just imagining like 3 of these guys, like you're literally just going to have to nuke the world at this point. Like just the amount of pod infectors these things actually drop is insane. It's like a whole new spaceship crashing every single time. But it's not just more flooded creatures they've added, because the developers have also seriously upgraded their weapons, you know, just to help you out a little bit more, which includes these new portable little shields right here. And these shields are actually really sick. You see when you place them down, you get like a little animation of them like popping up, just like we saw in the games. And as you guessed it, they work like little barricades, so you can hide behind them if you are taking cover. But if you're the type of player that likes going into battle, you can actually get one of these that works as a shield. And every time they hit you right here, they actually fly back. Like check this out. You just hold it up. There you go. So it does give you a little bit of defense right there, but eventually it is actually going to get stunned and the shield is going to go down just like that, as you see, which then gives them a chance to actually attack you. So just be careful of that. So to show you guys the other weapons that we've got here in these barrels, I am going to turn off the shaders just like that, because there's a lot of details that do go missing when you are using shaders. But either way, let me show you some of these weapons. And I could be wrong here, but it definitely feels like these weapon models have had a bit of an upgrade. Like I could be wrong, but I don't know. They definitely look like they've had some sort of an upgrade right here. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if they've always been like this, but they definitely feel like brand new. But anyway, right here we have the M6G Magnum, and you can just shoot it normally right here with the classic sound effects. And of course you can zoom in with the Magnum just like you can in the games. But I know for a fact the muzzle flash on these is definitely brand new. We also have the assault rifle right here, and this is what I was talking about with shaders, because if I actually throw them back on, the actual screen itself is completely blank. So playing this without shaders, you can see your ammo count, which does actually go down. I love that. That just looks so sick. And you can zoom in a little tiny bit just like we could with the Magnum. And again, with a brand new like muzzle effects right here. And just the ability to actually inspect these weapons is such a nice little touch. Like just before you go into battle, you know, just to check your stuff, you definitely have to respect all the little things like that. And then the last one in this lineup is the sniper, the classic Halo sniper rifle right here, which does actually come in 2 forms, one with a bipod, one without. And of course you can zoom in, you get the classic sniper sound effect as well. So if we come up to this rooftop right here and look down at all these flood just taking out everything, we do actually have night vision right here. Look at that with the sound effect. And of course it works just the same. But overall, the models and like the guns in this is like so close to like an actual like fully fledged gun mod. Like all the little details of like the inspect, the whole like night vision thingy. Like that is just such a cool feature. We have the other weapons like the mangler right here, which is almost like a scatter shot. Looks really, really cool. Again with the new muzzle flashes. And like look at the reload for this. This is just insane. Look at that. We get the new energy stave right here, which is a completely new weapon. And so if you wanted to learn a little bit more about this weapon, you just hold shift on it and it will give you a nice bit of lore. This thing does 20 damage straight off the bat as well. Like that is insane. And yeah, it'd probably be wise to use this over the energy sword just for like the range of it. So we got the flooded brute, but we also get the brute shot right here, which as you can see, it does not mess around. And this thing is just so destructive. Like with the new explosion effects and everything, like it looks so cool. And with shaders on, this thing just looks absolutely insane. Like when you start shooting everything, all the glows and everything like that. Like, it's so destructive. And the last 2 sort of weapons right here that have had a major redesign is the frag grenade and the plasma grenade. You can see that the models look so good right there. Like, they've actually managed to pull it off so well. And so the frag grenade, as you saw that guy throwing them earlier, there you go right there. Can't go wrong with a classic frag grenade, but where it really shines is with the new plasma grenade right here. So if I actually try and aim it at this pig, there you go right there. It is actually sticking to the pig itself. Look at that. Oh my god, he survived. And if you didn't hear it the first time, it does actually have like a charge up sound. Look at that. That is so cool. Like, that is perfect. So we've taken a look at some of the new flooded creatures, some of the new weapons, and all their fancy animations and stuff like that. But by far, one of the coolest features about this whole update is if we go on this tab in the creative menu, Dawn of the Flood Blightlands right there, you'll be able to see all these different blocks and like items right here, which is basically all the blocks and items that will actually start to take over your world. Like, that wasn't in the previous version. So if I was just to place a nice friendly proto grave mind right here, oh, there's one of the jump scares. There you go right there. You can see that the infection is starting right now. Now, this does take a long time. It's not like a lot of the other infection mods where it just goes super quick. Like, this is going to take a long time. But you can see right there that it is definitely busy at work doing its thing. And this proto grave mind right here is just so grim. Like, look at like the faces popping out of it as well. Like, look at that on the back of it. Oh my god, the noises are so messed up on this thing. So eventually this whole cave is basically going to turn into the whole sort of flooded biome. And once again, it doesn't actually stop there, because once this thing actually becomes super powerful, there you go. That is what it's going to turn into. Look at that. I don't even know what that is. Like, this thing is just so gross. Like, there's no way I couldn't even put it into words like what this thing is. Yeah, if you're going to have a nuke in this mod, this is probably the best target for it. Oh, okay. There you go. Okay, there we go. After waiting a little bit of time, you can start to see how this place is actually going to look. Like, let me see if I can bucket this. What is this? Blight liquid. Oh, that's so gross. So that's going to cut it. I really hope you enjoyed this short glimpse at some of the new features in this mod. And like I said in the last video of it practically being impossible to beat this thing, now I truly stand by that statement. So if you're brave enough to take this thing on, definitely check it out. But if you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like, comment, or even consider subscribing. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.